It's Gurley power. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Todd Gurley, fresh off a standout performance a week ago, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Los Angeles Rams. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. A few short moments ago, running back Todd Gurley tried to fire up the Ram faithful here in Southern California as his guys get set to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And I thought in last week's game, he found a way to win like a good pitcher without his best stuff. I mean, he did throw 2 interceptions, offset by 1 touchdown pass. Not the ratio, not the numbers you're really looking for as a QB. But finding a way to win, that's all that really matters.
Now a man who played collegiately here in the Golden State, Rashad Penny. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The numbers for Baldwin last week: 5 catches, 76 yards.
And he was able to haul that pass in there, but he knows he's got a tough task ahead of him. This unit in the top 5 in the NFL against the pass. He's going to have to really work hard to get open.
The first carry now. This is Hill. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety, not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame introductions. He introduced himself with authority on that play.
It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. To throw on 2nd down is Goff. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. Goff hitting Woods for a Rams first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They go play action here on 1st down. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish him off right now?
And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. You know, a week ago was one of the best defensive performances I've ever seen. He had 5 sacks. Here we go again.
And he's the type of player that'll keep an offensive staff up all week trying to figure out how to slow him down. But at some point, they just have to take account of themselves and say, I've got to get bodies in front of him so he doesn't disrupt our offense totally. On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
And his throw here's incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. That'll bring up 2nd down. The starters defensively now for the Seahawks. They were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Second and 10. Goff again. They'll throw underneath for Gurley. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Goff on 1st down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
But he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
On 2nd and 10, Goff being chased out left. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Gone. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Play action. It's Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on his first drive. Instead, second down. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget, his main use, kick returner. Knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. On second down, Hill. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Time for a look at the defensive starters now for the Rams. They were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
On third down, Wilson. And he's got Lockett. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing is Wilson, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
So not much to speak of scoring-wise in this first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Wilson now off the bootleg. Open man is Uzama. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
When the offense reads blitz, Doesn't matter where it's coming from. Tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Penny, a first down carry. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. Look at the spin. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
They'll run it with Hill. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
To me, that's a terrific run on 1st and goal at the 3. They got 2 yards. I'd line right back up and give it to him again.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Jeremy Hill, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And they're able to run it in. It started with the battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Spinning away. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost
nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Now a first down carry. It's Hill. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's a give to Penny. Dances by him. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 9 yards on the gain there, so from 2nd and 19, now we've got a 3rd and 10.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
Listen.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. On the move to his left. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
On 2nd down, here's Goff. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They run. It's Gurley. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Go! 17!
They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. Going up top for Kupp. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Alert 3! We go, 76! 76! Okay, just like that. Just like that.
Back to the air. Goff on 2nd down. Throwing over the middle. It's incomplete.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. Goff now to throw. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait in hence your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside and have to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. On second down, Wilson. This one complete to Jeremy Hill. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Here's Wilson to throw. Underneath here to Hill. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As he'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. The Seahawks on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Wilson will throw again. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Rams have got it back.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Listen.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Hey, 76.
Throwing on third. Gone. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Oh, they're on him too quickly back there, and it's blocked. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown, as his guys are in for 6, and the Seahawks add on to their lead.
But they didn't have their normal cushion there in order to punt the ball away. It leads to a lot of anxiety for the team kicking the football.
For the punter, you know that you've got to get rid of that quickly there. Not quick enough.
And also, not stepping behind you and stepping over the end line for a safety. That one gets blocked, and it's 6 points.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st down, gone. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like a Rams player was able to get his hands on it, yes. So they will hold on to the football indeed.
Holding. Offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Hey, 5. 11. 11. 2 up. DC.
Out of the gun. Gone. Out left, he's got it to Everett. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. The Rams on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Everyone go well. Hey, Shell.
The final shot before break here. Goff. He's going to float this one deep right. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll begin in the AFC with a trip to the Mile High City. Houston on the road at Denver. And it's the Broncos who are out in front. A touchdown pass there for Case Keenum. From there, we'll head down to the Big Easy. Check on the Saints at home at the Superdome. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. Ronald Jones, a touchdown run in the victory. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. See what's happening with the Bengals. And they were losers in that one to the visiting New York Giants. Sterling Shepard, a career afternoon, 4 touchdown catches. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. His guys have the lead, as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And the Rams now coming out on the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Frank Clark in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
It's been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
But it looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
Now Goff. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Now it's Lockett. through it. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
Don't take forever, okay? All right, football team.
On 1st down, Wilson leads it for Penny. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now Wilson on 2nd down. Dumps that off to Penny as running back. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. Give him 6 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Wilson now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on 1st down. A handoff to Penny. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Now Rashad Penny. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw on 3rd down, Wilson. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Ndamukong Suh in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Goff. He's letting it fly for Cooks. It's caught inside the 25. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. Goff finding Cooks on a big play. 55 yards. And at this stage, down in the 2nd half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley.
Holding. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Goff now looking to throw. And Cooks has it over the middle. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Again, Goff. Hard throw, incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This will be a 37-yard attempt. The kick by Tavecchio is good. And that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
And nothing but daylight ahead. The 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. In for the score. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And there is a flag as he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. But who's this going to be against?
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Well, this is simply a great read by a defensive back. It's 3rd and 10, so he sits right on where the yard-to-gain marker is, knows it's going to be a route around that distance, makes his read, breaks on the football, and makes a terrific play.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Penny. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding. Offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
Following the penalty, it's Hill. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. The tackle there by John Johnson.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Mark Barron able to get outside the numbers and drop him for a loss of a yard.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Here's Goff now on second down. That's a loss of 8 yards there to bring up third. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
5. 11.
A shotgun snap for Goff. Now he's forced out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack.
Back now in Los Angeles. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Rashard Robinson with a pick. And here now a spin. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They start the drive on the ground with Hill. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bag, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. On third down, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is fielded at the 7. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over first and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. To throw on second down is gone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you got to trust yourself and go up in that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. The tackle there by Mark Barron.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Again, it's Penny. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Penny on the counter. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
Oh, and he's taken down here by his face mask by the looks of it. And a penalty flag is going to give a much better starting position.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
To throw is gone. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Goff again. Going up top for Kupp. And that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play there. Goff to Kupp. 43 yards. On 1st and 10, Goff. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Brandon Cooks, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Rams are able to draw a bit closer. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
We're good. We're good.
They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding. Offense.
And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge. Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Yeah, the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. Play action. It's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. He may try and run for this. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. This is taken at the 15. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Goff on 1st down. He's going to air it out deep for Woods. It got his man complete. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
14.
Now Goff on 1st down. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Louis.
A play fake to Gurley. Now Goff. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better. And
all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
14.
Off play action. Here's Goff. Flushed out right. He's going to let this go deep. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
5.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic 1st down.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Our ball. Go. 5. Maverick.
Throwing again is gone. That is incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
But there's no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. To the air again. Goff. Flush to his right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Hey, 5. 11. 11. 12. 12. 12. 12. Dula. Harbaugh.
Now Goff on 3rd and goal. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Now Zare Jones. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. Desperation time for Goff on 4th. And it is incomplete. A disappointing drop there on 4th and goal. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. This is Penny. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 3rd down, here's Hill. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Super. Twos.
On 1st down, gone. And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Goff. And an alley to run. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that one will be accepted.
Automatic 1st down.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now a 1st down throw. Gone. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Frank Clark, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys
I'm a little
skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Seahawks, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for L.A., the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the Washington Redskins.